What's up, everyone on YouTube? It's your boy, the Memphis XL, right back at you with the 100 days of Yu-Gi-Oh! And every day for 100 days, we're dueling with a different deck every single day. Today, everybody, we're taking ourselves a look at Nurse Burn. That's right, we're reverse burning our opponents with Dark Nurse Reficule, which turns any beneficial life point gain of your opponents into damage. So we got ourselves a nice little deck centered around Nurse Reficule, as well as the bad reaction to Samochi. Essentially the same card, so we're playing 6 copies of Nurse Reficule today. And we got ourselves a deck that's all about setting up Reficule or Samochi, making our opponent gain/lose life points. We also have some traditional burn sort of cards to supplement that. And we're going to go into EDO Pro. We're going to show this deck off, show you how it works. Shout out to Mr. Libra October, who asked for today's deck. And we're going to go right into it. So, real quick, the deck list, and then right into the duels. So, for the main deck, we're playing 2 copies of Darklord Itchel, 3 copies of Darklord Nurse Reficule, 1 copy of Lilith, the Lady of Lamentations. We have 1 card of Demise, 1 Upstart Goblin, 1 Terraforming, 3 Banishment of the Dark Lords, 3 Pot of Duality, 1 Demise of the Land, 3 Mystical Mine. We have 3 Secret Barrel, 3 Gift Card, 3 Paths of Destiny, 3 Try and Guess, 2 Ring of Destruction, 1 Metaverse, 3 Dark Cure, and 3 Bad Reaction to Samochi. As for the extra deck's pretty much irrelevant in this deck. We do not make extra deck monsters with this deck. So I filled it up with synchros. My meaning for this being that if my opponent doesn't care about their extra deck, and we try to hit them with Try and Guess, or we call like something, they're more likely to have a deck full of synchro, or not synchro, but they're going to have a lot of like fusions and exceeds. Not likely that they'll have an extra deck full of synchros. And this way, if I need a life point gain, it's something I can do. Pretty much guarantees that I can do the burn when I need to do the burn. But if I need to gain the life, I can gain the life. As for the side deck, there are other things. You have Dimension Shifter. If your opponent really cares about their graveyard, Dimension Shifter is a really nice card to stop that. If you want Spell Trap Protection, Stardust along with Starlight Road is very nice because you can cheat out Stardust Dragon, negating a Harpy's Feather Duster, and gives you more protection from follow-ups to that. Into the Void can let you draw more cards, and then you lose your hand in the end phase. Kind of like Card of Demise does, but, you know, essentially just another Card of Demise if you want it. And Soul Taker can get rid of your opponent's monsters and give them life points. But it's targeted and it's situational, so play it by preference. As for now, let's go into EDO Pro. We're going to show this deck off, show you how it works, and we'll have ourselves a good time. Alrighty, our first opponent. We do want to try and go first here. We're up against Take a Swig, bruh. I don't know what that means, but he wants me to take a swig, bruh. So we'll go ahead and start with Darklord Itchel. We already have our Reficule. We have a searcher for Reficule if we didn't have Reficule, but we got a Reficule, so we don't need it. Sadly, I don't quite have enough burn cards. There's a couple of burn cards, alrighty. Let's get Try and Guess. Alright, this should be a good enough opening hand to start. We'll start off with our Reficule. This card makes it so anytime my opponent would gain life, they would surrender immediately. That is exactly what this deck does. My opponent saw the Reficule and he ran for the hills. Okay, so not really. Oh, it's kind of an accurate depiction of the deck. Some people just don't like Nurse Reficule. I mean, granted, he could have at least tried. I didn't have game here. I had 6,000 damage pretty much in the bag. And I did have a Mystic Mind set up 2 ways over. But he could have at least lasted a turn. So a showing of what happens, the intimidation factor of this deck. You know, if your opponent sees what you're playing, they might just give up immediately. But let's go for Duel 2. Try to find someone who will actually, like, play the game. And, see what happens. Alrighty, second opponent. Let's go do it again. But hopefully this time, my opponent actually lasts the turn. We'll see how it goes. Well, that's not exactly a great hand, but it has potential. The nice thing about Banishment of the Dark Lords, your opponent doesn't immediately know that you're playing Reficule. They think you're playing Dark Lords. And I'll go ahead and ditch a nurse. I already have a nurse. I don't need to have another nurse. Ooh, Dark Cure. This is one of my strongest cards. Every time my opponent summons, they take damage equal to the attack of one of the monsters they summon, thanks to Reficule. So that way, while I don't have game, I've got some stuff. I do have things. I have a floodgate where my opponent's going to be very, very restrictive of what they do. So he's going to be playing the Foolish Burial Goods to start. That could mean a lot of things. Is this Sky Striker, perhaps? It could be. We'll find out. We'll find out very, very quick. Although the fact that he's taking a while. Okay, so he's playing Cubics. Alright, that actually works for me in my favor. Because while his Cubic Darklord Mega Super Duper Dude is rather large, it deals burn damage to him as well whenever he does things. Yes, and I would love to use that effect now. I will now make my opponent gain 1,500 life points, meaning he will take 1,500 burn damage. So he's going to immediately go for the battle phase. I'm going to go and hit him for more damage. Because there is a chance he'll summon something afterwards. And once Reficule's gone, this actually becomes a detriment to us in a bit. So, make a second attack. I'll go down to 34. Okay. Is what it is, my friend. Is what it is. I mean, I've got Banishment of the Darklord. Can't talk. Okay. He's just gonna set a monster, but that's fine. So Crimson Nova will deal 3,000 to us both. Which is fine. That actually plays, like I said, in my favor. So let's go ahead and let me think. Yeah. Let's be proactive about things. Let's go ahead and get ourselves another Reficule. We'll attempt to draw into more burn cards and things. So we'll summon out our Reficule. So now this becomes live once more. Good old Upstart Goblin. Draw, he takes damage, and that's going to be game right there, because we have the Paths of Destiny. Actually, this could result in a draw now that I think about it. If we both hit tails, then we both lose. But nope, my opponent will take it. So, yep, Paths of Destiny. Guarantees damage to your opponent with Reficule, and you have a chance to gain life. I was actually kind of hoping I'd get a draw there, just for the novelty of a draw. But there you go. We have once again trolled somebody to death with our Nurse Reficule, and at least this guy attempted to get through us. So all props to this guy. So I'm gonna go for duel number 3. We're gonna see what else we can get into, and keep trolling, folks. Alrighty, third opponent. Deck's looking pretty strong. Nurse Burn in general is a pretty strong deck. Obviously, it depends a little bit on the hand, but you start off with a decent enough hand. It's not that hard to win with this deck. I say that in the middle of not getting a great opening hand. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. Banishment of the Darklords. Get Reficule. We'll have to do something snarky here. It's not gonna be pretty, but it's gonna at least have stuff. The Dark Cure is not a bad idea. I think I'll go for Dark Cure. I really like it. It worked last time. We'll do it again. We're going to shuffle our cards. Set Dark Cure. Summon that Reficule. Since I got card of Demise, here's what we're going to do. Set Mystic Mine. Activate Mystic Mine. That way, I can go for my card of Demise. Hopefully draw some traps. I draw a trap. It's something. We'll just set everything. He doesn't know these aren't trap cards. That way he has no idea what we've got. Alright, so he doesn't have much of it. Well, I don't have much of anything. Does he have much to get around me? We'll find out in a minute. We will find out. So I do have bad reaction to Samochi. This is essentially just Nurse Reficule, the original one. It does the exact same thing. Anytime my opponent would gain life, they take damage instead. So we'll see how it go, man. I mean, I got Mystic Mine. I've got Reficule. Taking damage every time he summons anything. And, well, if he's smart, he'll just, do nothing, essentially. Because that is something he can do. He just end his turn, Mystic Mine, self-destruct. But this is what Demise of the Land is for. If he special summons something, I can just, straight up activate another Mystic Mine. It'll be the last one we have. But it'll be something. It will be something. So we got Banishment. We'll search out... Let's go for another Reficule. That way I have a thing I can summon. Oh, I could have put in some rank 4s in here. I did not prepare myself for extra deck use today. This is only for try and guess. That's the only purpose of it. So, yeah, let's go ahead and beat into the Triamid Hunter. I don't know what this card does, and I'm not going to read it, but I'm going to beat into it with my monster. I see. Tricky, tricky indeed. Tricky, tricky. I'm going to take damage. Alright, well, it was worth a shot. We'll set our Dark Cure. We'll end our turn. Alright, I'm trying to remember how Triamid... I know they're all about the field spells. I know they have at least some swarm... Okay, he's playing Adamancipator. So that's good to know. He's playing the Adamancipator. So we're going to activate another Dark Cure. I don't remember these stack. I don't often get to have 2 Dark Cures, but if it stacks, don't you doubt it, I'm going to be stacking it. Stack and pack. That's what we're going to do. So, yeah, he'll go for Quokaimeru Overload. That negates summons. Doesn't affect us very much. But yeah, Dark Cure does in fact stack. So there you go. Dark Cure times 2. And, I'm going to let him commit a little bit more before I negate him. Yep, he'll take damage equal to the attack of any monster he summons from now on. So long as I've got Reficule, I'm good. And even if I don't, I got Samochi. So, I'm pretty set. I'm pretty set, unless this guy's got Harpy's Feather Duster, which, if he did, he would have played by now. If he already had it, he would have played it, for sure. So he's going to go for Coral Dragon. So I'm going to deal some burn damage. And let's go ahead for Demise O' the Land. Barring him having Ash Blossom, this should end his life pretty easy. I can just be like, hey, Mystic Mind's back. You're taking 1,200 times 2. That's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage. And again, even if he outs Reficule, I still have my Samochi. Yeah, he had the Coral Dragon. Nice card. Discard card, pop card, gets popped, draw card. Pretty good card, but don't do much under Mystical Mine. Alright. Oh, another Samochi, you say. Well, that's unfortunate. I'll go ahead and set it to spook him, though. We just have to do that intimidation factor. We got to have the intimidation factor. So, yeah, my opponent, he could out this, you know, if he just linked these 2 away. I don't think he's going to, though. He kind of wants to commit to the things he has, so we'll set ourselves a try and guess. He's got to have at least 1 Exceed monster, right? That's my hope, anyway. We'll give it a shot once we are allowed to play try and guess. Now, unfortunately, this guy's probably got a lot of synchros. This is one of those rare instances where, you know, me having all synchros isn't as beneficial. So I'll go ahead for try and guess. We'll say Exceed monsters. I could say Fusion as well, but we'll go for Exceed. I have a feeling this guy has, like, Gallant Granite or something in his deck. Yep, that's my deck. Yep, there's an Exceed. So, there you go. We beat Ligma. He can lig my balls. And there you go. That's a perfect illustration of Dark Nurse Reficule just overwhelming our opponent. And that's the benefit of Dark Cure. Stack it up. Your opponent takes even more damage. So, that's another duel. Let's go. Let's keep going. Let's just keep going. You know, the first duel was a bust. The second duel was just like, whatever. You know, cubics, whatever. This guy, Adamancipator, Triamid, slightly stronger. Let's go for another opponent. See what else we can troll here. Alrighty, our final opponent of the day. Let us troll once more, everybody. I'm still getting into the troll mood, you know, because we have Troll Week coming up. This is not going to be showing up in Troll Week now. It was going to show up, but now we're taking it a little bit earlier here. But it still works. We're up against Red Eyes Black Dragons. Interesting choice. Unfortunately, we're going second, and he's playing Red Eyes Fusion, but let's give this guy the benefit of the doubt and say he's not playing Dragoon. Let's say he's playing Red Eyes Diffused Red Eyes. See, we can trust this guy. Trust him to be a naive fool. A naive little man. Alright, so he's got Red Eye Slash Drag. What does this do again? When a card effect's activated that targets a card. Okay, I don't really... Other than my ring, I don't really target you for things. Alright, let's see here. Well, I don't quite have the burn I'd like. But I got stuff. Let's go ahead and set, and backup set, and pass. Alright, so this guy, like I said, see what this guy's playing. Let's go for Dark Cure. Just in case, my opponent tries to summon more things. We'll go ahead for the Pods of Destiny, might as well. And for the love of me, we'll just go for Secret Barrel just to guarantee some burn damage. Now, obviously, we have guaranteed burn damage, but I want to guarantee a little bit more burn damage. And we'll leave Samochi for now because, we don't need to let him know that we have Samochi. We don't need him to know that till later. And hey, I'm going to gain life. Very nice. Alright, so he's almost halved his life points. That's good. Anything he summons from now on will take him some damage. Which is a little ironic considering that Red Eyes are kind of a burn damage archetype. A little bit. Like, not all of them do this, but some of them do. Earth. Oh, Guard Dragon's Cataclysm, I see. Icarus attack for dragons. Well, that's a little bit of a tricky wicket there. I mean, I still have a Samochi, which is good. And he can creep equipping his monsters. Creep? I said creep. Creep equipping. Am I Elmer Fudd now? Do I need to get an Elmer Fudd hat or something? I might. I don't know. That's a possibility. So, alright. So he doesn't have anything other than a Flash Dragon. I top deck into Mystic Mind, so there you go. That's pretty much, unless he's got Spell Trap removal, going to be game right there. Because, I can just sit here waiting for my trap cards, waiting for, whatever. I've got Samochi, so I already have Reficule. So, yeah, pretty much gonna be game there. I'm gonna skip ahead until something happens. Either I get all the traps in the world to burn, or my opponent rage quits out of, pain and misery. Alrighty, my opponent surrenders to Upstart Goblin. Alright, well, my opponent, he lasted a few turns. You gotta give him credit. He tried to go into some things, and he did get rid of that big Slash Dragon before I could Ring of Destruction him. Unfortunate, but, like I said, once you set up Mystic Mine, people don't want to stay too long, unless they have Spell Trap removal, but not everyone runs that anymore. So, let's go for the end screen. Alrighty, everybody. Nurse Burn did about what I would expect it to do. I nursed and I burned. And, I did kind of get an OTK that first. If you think about it, isn't your opponent rage quitting like getting a free OTK? In a sense. Kind of. Sort of. I would call it that. So, the deck works as you would intend it to do. You set yourself up a little bit. You start to burn your opponent. And it works alright. Dark Cure, amazing card. I almost like it more than the other traps we have, but it is what it is, so I enjoyed the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Make sure to like and consider subscribing because of this video if you feel like liking and subscribing. And tomorrow we're taking a look at some, what are we looking at? Empowered Warrior Ignites. That's going to be an interesting one. Let me double check. Yeah, Empowered Warrior Ignites is tomorrow's video, and I hope to see you there. Your boy Memphis signing out for now. Take care till next time, and y'all have a good one.